Clara's hands shook as she scrubbed the marble floors of the opulent Regent Plaza hotel lobby, her eyes fixed downward, heart racing in the early morning hush. A sharp voice suddenly pierced the silence. "Please, someone help. Doesn't anyone here speak French?" Clara froze, her breath catching in her throat. Her manager was nowhere to be found. Glancing up, she met the frantic eyes of an elegantly dressed woman, her distress unmistakable. Without hesitation, Clara stepped forward and replied softly in flawless French, "Je purator, madam." The lobby went deathly quiet. Heads turned, disbelief etched on every face. Clara's cheeks flushed as she felt the weight of their stares. Housekeepers were meant to be invisible, not heard. Then, from a shadowed hallway, the hotel's owner emerged, his gaze locked on Clara. Her stomach knotted with dread. Had she just made a catastrophic mistake? He stepped closer, his voice calm but commanding. "You. In my office. Now." What would happen to Clara next? Subscribe to Real Life Stories now to witness something unforgettable. The owner's footsteps echoed sharply against the marble as he approached Clara, the air thick with tension. "You spoke French," he said quietly, his tone edged with curiosity. Clara's throat tightened. "Yes, sir. I just wanted to help," she whispered, pride flickering through her fear. He studied her for a long moment. "How many languages do you speak?" Clara swallowed, clutching the cleaning rag until her knuckles whitened. "9. 9. His brow arched, a mix of surprise and intrigue. "And no one knew?" "No one asked," she replied, her voice steady now, a spark of defiance breaking through. Behind the owner, a manager appeared, arms crossed, eyes narrowing. "This isn't about talent. It's about rules," he snapped. "Housekeepers don't speak to guests in anything but English. It disrupts order." Clara met his gaze evenly. Maybe the order needs disrupting. The owner raised a hand, silencing the manager. "Enough. I want to know more about you." Later that day, Clara sat in a stark office under relentless fluorescent lights. Across from her, the owner, Mr. Harrison, leaned forward, elbows on his desk. "Tell me how you learned all these languages while working here." Clara's eyes flicked to the window, the faint hum of street noise barely audible. "I study every spare moment between cleaning rooms, after my kids are asleep. It's the only way I keep myself grounded." "Your family?" he asked. She nodded, hesitating. "I'm raising 2 little sisters since our parents passed. I work nights so I can be home during the day for school and homework." Mr. Harrison nodded slowly, his stern expression softening. "That's a heavy load to carry." "I don't have a choice," she said quietly. "But sometimes I wonder if anyone here even sees me, or if I'm just part of the background." "You're not background to me anymore," he said, his eyes darkening. "But others might see your rise as a threat." Word spread quickly. At the next staff meeting, Clara felt the weight of whispers like shadows closing in. "Think the owner's playing favorites?" one housekeeper muttered. "Probably just a publicity stunt. They don't like us getting too smart," another whispered. Clara caught the words but kept moving, refusing to let their doubts weigh her down. One evening, in her small apartment, the city's hum seeping through cracked windows, her sister Mia poked her head in, holding a math book. "Can you help with this problem?" Clara smiled, exhaustion fading. "Of course." As they worked, her phone buzzed a message from Mr. Harrison. "Come by my office tomorrow. We need to talk about your role here." Clara stared at the screen, the room suddenly feeling too small, the silence pressing in. Was this her chance to step out of the shadows or a step deeper into them? The next day, the hotel's executive office buzzed with unfamiliar faces. Mr. Harrison introduced Clara, not as housekeeping staff, but as the new international guest liaison. Her heart pounded as murmurs rippled through the room. Some eyes gleamed with respect, others with barely concealed resentment. After the meeting, Nathan Cole, a senior executive with a polished smile and sharper eyes, cornered her. "Polyglot cleaner to executive? Impressive. But you know how this works, don't you? People like me don't lose power without a fight." Clara met his gaze unflinchingly. "Then I'll fight. But not the way you expect." Weeks passed, and Clara thrived, navigating cultural protocols and language barriers with ease. But beneath the surface, sabotage simmered, documents altered to discredit her, meetings she wasn't invited to, whispers meant to isolate her. One afternoon, Nathan approached with a forged memo. You'd better fix this before it costs you your job. Clara took the papers calmly. I already did. She handed him corrected versions, precise and professional. The room fell silent. Mr. Harrison appeared behind her. Thank you, Clara. This won't be overlooked. Nathan's face paled, but he said nothing. The power play was exposed. The tension didn't vanish, but respect grew. Colleagues began seeking her help, her voice gaining weight. One evening, Mr. Harrison found her alone in the break room. They're still talking. Clara's eyes were steady. Let them. I'm not invisible anymore. He nodded. You belong here, Clara. Don't let them convince you otherwise. Months later, Nathan's downfall came quietly but decisively. An investigation uncovered his attempts to sabotage Clara, manipulating documents, spreading false rumors. Faced with undeniable evidence, he was dismissed. In the aftermath, Clara stood in the hotel lobby, morning light streaming through grand windows. The whispers had faded, replaced by nods of acknowledgement. Her phone buzzed a message from her youngest sister. You did it. Clara smiled, clutching her badge tightly. Her journey from silence to strength wasn't just hers. It was a beacon for those watching from the margins. In the quiet moments after Nathan's departure, Clara felt a subtle shift settle over the hotel, not marked by grand announcements, but by small, meaningful glances of respect. The hallways that once whispered doubts now echoed with recognition. Yet for Clara, the true victory was deeper than titles or approval. It was reclaiming her voice. She thought of nights spent studying while the city slept, the invisible weight of expectations bearing down. Now, standing tall beneath the hotel's soaring ceilings, she understood. Strength isn't about silence or invisibility. It's about being seen, unapologetically, and refusing to be diminished. Her sisters' faces came to mind, two young lives shaped by resilience and hope. Clara knew her journey was a bridge for them, proof of what determination and honesty could achieve against all odds. One afternoon, as she walked through the lobby, the soft hum of guests mingled with the clinking of glasses in the nearby cafe. Sunlight poured through the grand windows, illuminating dust motes dancing like quiet celebrations. Clara paused, fingertips grazing the smooth marble railing, solid, enduring. It was a reminder that foundations built on truth and grit withstand time. This was her reality now, not perfect, but hers. A world where barriers could be broken, where voices once ignored now shaped conversations, and where courage was the quiet force behind every step forward. Clara's story is a powerful reminder that change begins when we stop shrinking to fit the spaces carved out for us and start creating new ones. The truth, no matter how long buried, always finds its way to the surface. If Clara's journey inspired you, like and share this video.